Hey everybody, it's me Chris. I'm back over here in the kitchen. Today I'm not cooking anything. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. And hey, I just want to say thanks to everybody for sharing your comments and watching the videos. I really appreciate it. I got a comment recently from a YouTube subscriber named BadWolf402. So hey, thanks for watching our videos. And I saw your comment, and BadWolf402 was asking me about what are my most used kitchen utensils, which I thought was a great question because we all have a bunch of junk in the kitchen that we don't really use. I mean, nowadays you can go on Amazon and literally order something different every day and just build up this huge collection. I'm guilty of it myself, but really there's some, there's a certain group of things that I use on a daily basis that I feel really helps me to be a better home chef and really take things to the next level. Not only my cooking, but my prep work and everything else. So let's get right into it. I'm going to share with you today my top 10 kitchen tools. And we'll start right with number 10, measuring cups or measuring bowl. I got this set here. This is from Pyrex, and these are glass. So this set came with a 1 cup, a 2 cup, 4 cup, and 8 cup. Great for measuring. I mean, if you eat a lot of rice like we do, you need to measure out the liquid and the rice. They come in handy. I use it all the time for pancakes, for jack, and everything else. Definitely needs a good set of measuring cups. They're very affordable, and they pretty much last you forever if you take care of them. All right, guys, so let's go with number 9. Number 9, most important kitchen tool for me is a ladle. You have to have a ladle if you want to make soup, you want to make a stew, you're making sauce on Sunday, you need a ladle. Absolute must-have for me. This is one I've had for years and years. It's a nice heavy stainless steel one. And then I also I recommend this one from Le Creuset. I know if you've watched my videos, you guys have seen I have a nice collection of Le Creuset pots that I've gotten over the years. I don't want to scratch those up inside. So this one's great. It's plastic, it's hard plastic, but then the front part is soft rubber like a spatula, so you can really scoop out your sauce. All right, guys, so number 8 on the list is a whisk. Now, I got a couple different ones here, and you know what? I used to not use it. I used to just not want the headache of washing it, so I just use a fork to mix everything. But you know what? As I've developed as a home cook, I realize that nothing really does the job quite like it. Even when you just something as simple as eggs. When you're making scrambled eggs, it's just not going to be the same if you don't use a whisk. You really get those eggs whipped up nice. And I use a couple different sizes, the larger ones if I'm making something in a bigger batch, but also if I need to whisk up some whipped cream or some egg whites and I need to do a lot of whisking, I'll use the large one. And then the small one I'll use for just like everyday simple stuff like making pancakes. And I recommend, if you have a lot of non-stick cookware, get yourself a silicone whisk so you don't scratch that up. If you want to make some really soft scrambled eggs, that's what I use this for sometimes. Or if you're cooking anything, a sauce or a gravy in a non-stick pan, you don't want to scratch that up, get yourself a silicone whisk. All right, on to number 7, and that is the turners. You have to have a good couple turners. So this is actually what's known as a fish spatula. So it's a very thin, lightweight turner. You can get under anything with this. This is all purpose. I mean, if you're only gonna have one, this would be the one to have. This thing is great for burgers, pancakes, eggs, anything you want. I recommend, again, most people are cooking in non-stick these days. So I recommend having a silicone or rubber turner just like this so you don't scratch up your cookware. And then of course, for outdoor cooking, for the grill, you need a big, heavy metal turner. This one I've had forever. The great thing about these things, usually you buy it once and you never have to buy it again. But this has a couple of cutting edges on it as well. And just a great, I don't know what brand it is. It's very old, but this thing has been great. You need a nice, long, heavy spatula if you're going to cook outside on the grill. All right, guys, number 6. Now, this is another thing that I used to never use. And now, over the last probably 5 or so years plus, I can't live without. It's literally an extension of my arm. Is the tongs. Gotta have a good set of tongs. And again, like I said, most people cooking in non-stick a lot, so you could get ones with the plastic ends. And then, but these are the classic. This is a 12-inch stainless tongue. This is your all-purpose. If you can only get one, this will be the one to get. And then I also have these extra long ones. These are a 16-inch. So these are for the barbecue outside, all right? So you want something with reach so you don't have to burn yourself. And these things work great. And there is one brand that I've found is way better than all the rest that I've tried anyway, and that is OXO. So I don't have a deal with OXO, but you know, OXO, call me. You want to talk business? But I'm telling you, man, they are the best. It's just the perfect amount of tension. They're durable. They have a little locking mechanism so you can pull out and keep them closed, and it just works better than any ones that I've tried anyway. So get yourself some OXO tongs. All right, guys, so number 5 is something that's probably, I don't know if it's a utensil, but I put it in here because I can't cook without these things, and that's stainless steel mixing bowls. These things are literally worth their weight in gold. And what you do is you go out into the restaurant supply store or even just go online and buy yourself a bunch of different sizes. And these things are just priceless because it's the first thing I do when I'm cooking any kind of project. I take out my mixing bowls. You could do your prep work in them. You can put stuff in them. You could use it as a garbage bowl. You use them to mix stuff. You know, if I'm roasting vegetables, I toss them in the bowl and before I put them in the baking dish. I mean, I use these every single day. And the other thing is, you know, not only are they great because they're affordable, you buy them once, you never buy them again, but they also stack inside of each other like this. Look at that. So they don't take up, they take up the same space as one bowl, and I probably got like 20 of them in here. Absolutely essential for me. Highly recommended. This will help you definitely take your prep game to the next level. So go out and get some stainless mixing bowls. All right, guys, number 4 on the list is the wooden spoon. And I got a couple different ones here. So this is just your regular, traditional 12-inch. You can see this thing's pretty beat up. And I have a smaller one here that I use. If you got kids, you know, you make a lot of macaroni and cheese and little small dishes. And this thing comes in handy. I use this all the time. But I also use this wooden spatula. You see how it's curved? And it's good for getting in the corners. I use this thing all the time. I mean, this is probably one of my favorite things to use to cook with. I've had it forever. They last years and years. So get yourself a good one or a couple good ones that suit your needs, but you have to have a wooden spoon. All right, guys, so number 3 on the list, the rubber or silicone spatula. And this is great for a lot of different things. Use it a lot in baking. But these things do a great job. And you get a couple different kinds. So this is just a one piece. I recommend this. I just got these. They're actually really good. But they also sell, these are really cheap. You can see this one's all burned from using it to cook. And this comes off for cleaning, this top piece. But, you know, they're great for scraping out the sides of the pot, for scraping down a bowl. I mean, I'm very particular. When I make eggs, I like to scrape out the bowl. Even when I have a yogurt, I use this small one. I just scrape it out. Definitely something that I use every single day. Got to have a couple of good rubber spatulas. Very inexpensive, and they last a long time. So got to get a couple of these. All right, guys. So number 2 tool on my list, can't really cook without. I can anyway. Is cutting board. You need a good cutting board. So there are a couple different kinds. If you've watched my videos, I got this big giant one here. But I recommend one to use for chicken and meat, so you don't have cross-contamination. Like a plastic type one like this. This thing's seen the day. Probably needs to get replaced. But really, you know, if you'd only get one, I recommend a wooden cutting board like this that's double-sided. So you see this has a smooth side, right? And then it has the channel on this side. And so what I do is, on the channel side, I use that to cut all my stinky vegetables, I call them, like onions, garlic, anything that'll leave behind an odor. And then I also use this to cut meat, to cut chicken. And I use the other side for anything that is like fruits, vegetables that don't leave behind an odor, like carrots, celery, bell peppers. So I use that side. And then what I do is, you could go to Lowe's or Home Depot and get that rubber stuff that goes inside your cabinets. This is non-stick, right? So you cut it out to fit your board, and then you can put it down, and then you have your board won't slide, all right? Definitely recommend that. And then, you know, I have this big cutting board that I use for, you know, carving large pieces of meat, for pizza dough, things like that. But, you know, if you only can get one, this is what you need. Nice, portable, easy to move around, double-sided and wooden, and this will definitely do the trick for you. All right, so here we go. Number one must-have, most used, most important kitchen utensil, and that's your chef knives. All right, and I recommend a couple different kinds. So the paring knife is very, very important. Used for peeling, slicing small things. This is what, you know, I grew up looking at this thing. My mom, that's all she used, you know. Old school Italian grandma style cooking. Everything was cut with this right into the pot. There's no cutting boards. Like, I use this every day, 3 or 4 times a day. I can't live without a paring knife. All right, and then I recommend also for your main knife, a 6-inch chef knife. I find it's the perfect size. I mean, I got a bunch of knives, but if you really only can have one, or you only want to keep one to make things simple, this is what you want. All right, so both of these are by Wusthof, which is a fantastic brand. A little bit pricey for most people, definitely worth every penny. These are great, great knives. And then the other thing I started using more and more, and now, again, it's just another thing that I find I can't cook without, is a bread knife like this, a serrated bread knife. All right, you call it a sandwich knife. This is by a company called Dexter, and you can get it online or at a restaurant supply store. Got a nice safe handle so you don't slip. And this is designed to slice bread, to cut sandwiches. And I use this, again, another thing I use every single day, but I also use it to slice meat. And if you watch TV, you watch the chefs on TV, they use their chef knife, and it looks great. I'm sure it looks cool. But if you're slicing a roast beef or turkey or steak, nothing does the job like this. No, I don't care how sharp your chef knife is. This thing, for me, is the best. I love this thing. You get one of these, I'm telling you, you'll never go back. Very affordable, too, probably around 20 bucks. And they hold their edge, even without sharpening, for forever. They just last and last. And then the last thing that I use really has become probably my favorite knife now is the cleaver knife. And this one's by Victorinox. It's the same company that makes the Swiss Army knives. They're also the recommended chef knife from America's Test Kitchen. So they're very reliable, and they do all their research. That's all they do. So that's how I learned that they made knives. And I got this cleaver knife, and I love this thing. And the great thing about it is, well, first of all, you could cut large items easily, but you can also scoop things with it as you go. So it comes in very handy. So those are the knives that I use every day and that I recommend. And that's my list. That's my top 10 most used kitchen tools. And hey, I hope this video helps you out, gives you some ideas. The whole idea, what I'm trying to do here is help people, be better cooks at home. It's very fun. It's very rewarding for me, and I hope you find the same in it. So hey, guys, thanks for the continued support. Thanks for the comments. Please keep them coming. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button, and make sure you don't miss out on our future videos. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.